hello?
Hello?
Yeah, sorry, there was an issue then because obviously I could hear the stream start. And then
Fair enough.
it was very confusing.
I
But
did
be
do
good
an
now.
intro and then there was a pause. Was
Yeah,
the
he's-
pause intentional?
This is why we haven't done one in 2 years. So we'll see how it goes.
In 2 years?
Right. Liam, say hello.
Hello.
That's Liam. Lany, say hello.
Hello.
That's Lany. I'm Chris. And Lany's the first time on this podcast, isn't
First
it?
timer.
First timer.
Little virgin over here.
Ooh, little.
Now we know.
So, what we're going to do is, first of all, have a little chat about how we are, what games we're playing and stuff like that. Because I know you two probably want to talk about Final Fantasy, maybe. I can go and have a brew or something. And then we'll do the news bit. I don't know if we care about news. So we're gonna see if we care about news in a bit. We'll go through the news, but we're gonna have a little way of doing that as well. And then we've got a game at the end of it, a lovely game, and everyone likes games. Battle Royale game, well, so it's
Ooh.
point. So first and foremost, how are we all doing? How is Lockdown doing? Lany, what games are you playing? What's getting you through?
Well, obviously Final Fantasy VII. I've just finished most of that. And now I'm playing a lot of World of Warships and Payday 2.
God, I forgot about Payday 2.
Suck it into the grind.
Right.
Love the good grind.
Final Fantasy, right. I've got a question about this that I wanted to ask anyway. The remake, is that not the full remake?
Oh,
No.
What?
No.
I thought it was. I assumed it was because obviously I've not really
No.
followed it. And I watched a video on it the other day, and is it like, this might sound really stupid, but 4 discs, wasn't it? The original
3.
3 discs. Okay.
Yeah.
3 sounds.
Yeah.
This odd number sounds weird.
No. 3 for 7 and 4 for 8.
4 for 9 as well, I think.
Yeah,
Really?
4 for 9 as
That's
well.
the only one I care about. Sit down all day. So, where does this end, and why does it end as it does? The
I
remake.
mean,
There is a
probably-
change.
yeah, well, yeah, there is actually, I suppose there is quite a large change at the point where the remake ends. In relation to the original, it ends, I mean, a few hours in to the original.
Is that it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, is it end of disc 1 or just before?
No, nowhere near the end of disc
I was
1.
about to say, is it?
I don't want to give
So-
any spoilers for where disc 1 ends, but I mean, having completed the remake, I went back to the original and was playing that. And well, put it this way, I have all the characters, including the optional characters, before the end of disc 1. So there's quite a lot after
Yeah,
where the remake ends and and disc 1 would end. But
that's madness. So how long is the current remake? How many hours did you put into it to complete it roughly?
well, depends what you mean by complete. To finish the story
Yeah.
bit, it's probably 40.
40.
And then obviously there's stuff to go back to, and
Yeah.
Collectibles, secret bosses, hard mode.
yeah, hard mode, yeah, stuff like that.
Jesus.
So I mean, while there's not necessarily, a lot of that you could do during your first, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
First playthrough, you don't necessarily have to go back. There's some stuff you do have to go back to do, but you're not really
Yeah.
missing out on anything.
So all that
story-wise.
optional stuff, that's pretty much new stuff, or is that? Cause I played Final Fantasy VII 10 years ago, and I just didn't. I think I just don't have a nostalgic attachment to it. It just didn't click with me at all. But I was like 10 years after it. No, more than that. 13 years after it come out. So I don't remember much about it. I'll tell you where I got up to. I got up to a sewer monster.
Ha! That's exactly where I got up to as a kid, and I could not beat that sewer
Yeah, it's
monster.
hard, that sewer monster,
Really?
man.
He's even harder in the remake.
Oh, bloody. Oh, so he's in the remake. So he's in like the first. Like
yeah,
3.
basically, it ends when you leave Midgar, which isn't very long into the original game, but there's a lot more in it,
Yeah,
but it's certainly
a lot of filler, or is it good stuff?
there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good new stuff.
Mm.
I enjoyed playing it.
Yeah.
but it's difficult because it isn't the full game.
Yeah, it's not.
I know,
It's
I
not
knew,
the
I knew
same
it wasn't.
attachment.
I know that was not an issue. I knew where it ended,
Yeah,
but there's
I'm
it just leaves you
surprised.
wanting more.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you liked it. I remember you not being super keen on it when it first the sort of cinematic trailers came out, just because you thought it was. You said it sort of part of the charm of it was the sort of polygonal, the sort of blockiness of it.
Well, not necessarily that, but some things you don't necessarily like. Not everything needs a remake. I don't think graphically
Yeah,
improving things graphically doesn't necessarily need to happen. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? It's like everyone's happy enough with Super Mario Bros, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? And Ocarina of Time and such. Do you know what I mean?
Quite like the idea of remaking a game from the ground up and adding extra bits to it and making it like a big sort of.
No, it's
I don't know, like a fan. It's almost like made for fans, isn't it, rather than made for
Yeah.
anyone new, which makes sense, doesn't it? Because who the hell's
yeah. I mean, it's difficult.
Like it's
because-
it's not like a proper of the original game.
Yeah.
Like it could really go in any direction, and that's sort of what's interested to me
Yeah.
at this point. They could really take it anywhere now. It doesn't have to follow the original narrative.
Yeah, same world,
yeah.
same character, same bone structure, but not necessarily exactly the same.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. In a way, it doesn't deviate that far, like away in terms of the actual game itself, but the implications are that
Yeah,
it
yeah.
can change the future of the game in a huge way.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, fair enough.
do you know what I mean? I mean, it's can be a bit cryptic, and especially given like,
I feel like all Final Fantasy are a bit cryptic, though, right?
well,
No?
yeah, but this has gone a bit Kingdom Hearts, isn't it?
Yeah,
Oh, no.
isn't the guy who was in Kingdom Hearts working on this?
Yeah, so
Mickey Mouse.
there's certainly, I wasn't sure how I felt about some of the new bits. I really enjoyed the game,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, it wasn't 10 out of 10.
Yeah, well, I
You know what I
mean,
mean?
it's
There's
never
loads to
gonna be, is
enjoy
it, I
about it.
guess.
I really like the combat, and I really like
That's what I want to touch on
the
as well, the
story
combat.
beats and stuff like that.
Again, because I just wasn't anything. It wasn't made for me. You know what I mean? So I sort of assumed that it was going to be remade with the original turn-based stuff in mind, just because I thought that fans would kick off otherwise. Is it like Final Fantasy 15's combat? I watched some videos, and it looks like that, but a bit more fluid, a bit less sort of teamworky almost. No,
Well, I suppose a bit in the way that it's
same engine and therefore the same kind of.
yeah. I mean, you can play it in classic mode, I believe
Okay.
it's called, which I've not tried. So that sort of like makes it not turn-based, because to be fair, the original wasn't technically turn-based.
Yeah, because it's obviously just you
it's
keep hammering
active time
orders and it
battle.
moves, but yeah.
So it's like, there isn't a set order.
Yeah.
Your character can be quicker, so therefore, you might be able to use moves before the enemy. Do you know what I mean? It's not like necessarily. But in the new one, it's sort of like, you have the same thing. So there's an active time battle gauge in this one,
Yeah.
and you fill it through time, and also through attacking, standard attacks. Whereas, like, in the original, you'd just be stood there bouncing on the spot, waiting for it to fill. Whereas in this, you can move around, and so in a way, it's similar to Final Fantasy 15 and Kingdom Hearts combat, except when you then want to use one of those gauges to do a spell or a move or anything like that,
Yeah.
time slows down almost to a halt to
Yeah.
give you a chance to then, decide who you're going to use that move on and stuff like that.
Yeah,
And
I get
you can directly control the other characters, or you can just
can you?
tell them. Yeah, you can swap
Or you
between
could just be
characters
Cloud.
at any
Actually, that
point
makes
in combat, and then you can, or you can just tell them to do a spell or a move or
yeah.
things like that.
Very
I mean,
interesting.
yes, it adds a different. It's definitely more in depth than Final Fantasy 15,
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, yeah.
which I still enjoyed, but
Yeah.
it's by far the best way of doing that sort of combat I've played.
I think it
So,
needed to change up, to be fair. And I think 15. Yeah, fair to say. I wasn't expecting. I don't know. I was expecting it to almost fail just on its own weight, but it's clearly not.
Yeah.
When's the
No, I mean,
next bits
there's loads
out?
of-
Have we got any ideas?
God knows. Especially at the minute.
Yeah,
like,
it's okay. Yeah,
you
fair
know,
one. A long time, didn't it? Mate, if you
Yeah,
get
I
the
actually
end of
think-
Final Fantasy VII Remake by the end of the PS5's lifespan, I guess that one.
It depends because they're on about doing it in shorter segments and
Like
getting
little
them out more
episodes.
often.
I think they could actually do well if they did like side stories, like a lot of like lore that maybe is only hinted at in the original. They could explore more in like a separate game to the actual whatever trilogy
Yeah.
or quadrilogy they're working on now. Like they
Yeah.
could split it up even further to have like just to get
Yeah.
more game out of it.
Yeah, I mean, clearly, there is a lot of game you can get out of it. You
Mm.
know, you go to locations in the original, and you know, they are even they're only small. They're not really,
Yeah,
they're
fair.
made to seem big, and they're made to, what I mean, part of that's got to be you and your imagination in a way.
Yeah.
But it's done well through, in the environment and stuff to give you a sense of like a bigger world. But it's, you go to a town and there's probably only 3 buildings you can go in.
Well,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? There's not a lot.
It's not going to go.
Whereas, like, so there's a
everywhere.
lot to expand on in the remake, like they have done so far.
Yeah.
But if everything was expanded to the same degree, they'll never finish it.
Yeah, well, exactly. Yeah, that's why I'm almost
Basically.
surprised that it's.
So
I know it sounds daft because it's been teased years ago, but considering it's Square and it's Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'm surprised it's managed to come out as quick as it has, to be honest. I was expecting this to just drag on for like almost like
well, they announced
Team
it 5
Eco
years
style
ago.
sort of things. Well, yeah, that's true. It doesn't seem
So-
like 5 years ago. I don't know what it is. It just seems alright. It seems like a decent amount of time in my eyes. But hey, it's for 3 hours of Final Fantasy VII, the original. Then maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. It's good as a fan to see,
Yeah.
These places
Yeah.
and like go, oh my god, that's that bit. And all that.
Fancy graphics.
Yeah, it's good to see that and stuff being built on, but it seems like it's going to be a long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that in a way is
Yeah, it doesn't
quite a
matter,
big
does it? I
negative
guess.
for me.
Is it? Oh,
Well,
okay, fair enough.
For me, yeah, I feel like if I knew it, if there was a more concrete, like oh, you're going to get one every
Yeah,
2 years,
maybe
or
be more,
you know what I mean,
engrossed
and then
in it. You might.
yeah, I could be more engaged with it. But as is now, I'm like, well, I've got probably another 3.5 years. To,
Yeah, I guess that could be a bit,
you know what
bit
I mean?
off-putting.
So
Yeah, fair enough. Well, at least it came out. The
yeah,
positive
no,
we
yeah,
take
that's
from
very
that.
true. Yeah, we'll always have part 1.
Part 1. So Payday 2. I'm not gonna. That's not. If you like it, Lany, then fair
I've
enough.
heard good things.
I don't hate it. It's just not what I thought it would be. I thought it would be like a heist game, but it's just a shoot police game. A lot.
Well, I mean, it is an old game that was like
You're
7
right.
quid.
You're right. I think it's definitely on me for expecting it to be more than it was. Definitely. I think it's just one of the games that I've seen so many times, but I'd never actually played, and it had this sort of following, so I just assumed it would be more than it was. But it came out
Yeah,
like
strikes me
10
as like
years
a
ago,
Left 4 Dead kind of.
yeah, I prefer to play Left 4 Dead.
Basically, to swap the
Yeah.
zombies for people,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Well, it
There's
was
a
ships
lot
we
of
all love.
variation to it. Like
Yeah.
all the
Oh,
maps,
I'm sure
like,
there is if you
different randomly
put the effort
spawn
and
things.
stuff in, but I don't know. Does it randomly spawn things?
Yeah, some things spawn in certain areas, and it's all random when it happens. So you won't get the same place twice,
Fair
but
enough.
I mean you will because there's only so many places that can spawn. But
I think I gave up on it when the level that we did was go into Christmas Factory and make the Christmas elves, which were just junkies, make more meth, shoot police for half an hour while they make meth. Throw
level
meth
had
into a
balancing
hole.
soundtrack though.
I didn't hear that Christmas song that you and Jan kept talking about.
Oh mate,
It never came on.
It was amazing.
I have heard good things about the soundtrack.
yeah, it's music does quite well, but it does.
I also know there's
on-
a Hardcore Henry DLC
Is
as
there?
well, which
that makes
yeah.
complete fucking sense.
which
That's
is pretty
like-
exciting. As
It
a
is
fan
kind of
that
like Hardcore Henry the film, but not well made
film. Yeah, fair enough.
in a way. But having said that, I mean, it was done ridiculous for what it is.
Mhm.
I'm playing it like 7 years after it came to PS4 or something. So it is what it is. Only dropped £7. All right. World of Warships. We don't need to talk about that. We know about that. You know what that is. We're all happy with that. And I think that's. Is there anything else you've been playing apart from Final Fantasy and multiplayer games?
I've been trying out some games on Steam, but nothing.
Yeah, I've been
Nothing
playing all my
overly-
usual. Nothing crazy. And Lany's just whatever, right?
Well, finished Ni no Kuni 2.
Did you?
Went through all of them.
What do you
Both
think
of them?
of that? Because I struggled again with that.
I really liked the first one. Like, I didn't think I'd like the familiar style combat, and I thought it was a bit too Pokemon-y.
Yeah.
But I actually really enjoyed it. Maybe it's because I've not played a Pokemon game in years, but it was
Yeah.
nice to have that. And like, I think the way they do grinding in that game, normally grinding is quite a tedious, boring task. But
Mhm.
with the first one, it was quite engaging because like, not only is your character leveling up, but you've got your familiar leveling up, and they learn new abilities, and then you can evolve them into something else. And there was just a lot to it that made you want to fight more battles rather than avoid.
Yeah.
And that's the
Yeah.
same in 2, or
No,
No,
no?
2 is a
Two's different,
completely
isn't it?
different.
I
yeah.
played maybe the first. In fact, you know what I remember from it? I remember getting out like the castle bit, and then you go down to like the big open map bit, and there's like a little like hut or something, like a woman or something like that. Is that right? Like,
Is this in 2 or 1?
2? I played
Yeah.
1 as well, and I got to the castle. I think something stupid like that. But yeah, you get to like the hut thing, and then it sort of opens up, and you have to go on like go over to the mountain. And I was like, nah, you go over to the mountain.
Doesn't like being told what to do.
I don't know what it is. It just I want to like them a lot, but I just struggle a bit. So
Maybe it's just JRPGs that you don't like.
Yeah, seems like it.
I either maybe like I'll play like 5 JRPGs, and one out of those 5 I'll absolutely fall in love with. I love Final Fantasy now. I love Breath of the Fire 4. I love Golden Sun. They're like, yeah, I don't know, weird.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
it's like any genre, isn't it? You're not
Yeah.
gonna like everything.
But the ones that I do like, they become like some of my favorite games. Like Golden Sun and Breath of Fire 4 and stuff. I just absolutely adore those games, but I don't know what it is. Hey, well, it's just one of them, innit? Just you either just click or you don't.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Right, let's talk about some news. Or let's not talk about some news. We'll find out now. So I'm going to give you some headlines. And what we're going to do is, you two are going to say either, I care about that, or I do not care about that.
Okay.
If you both
Okay.
care about it, we'll talk about it. If one of you doesn't care about it, we're going to move straight on. We're not going to talk about that headline. We're not going to get into it. Okay? The first headline. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice mod adds Dark Souls style invasions and summonings.
Oh, does it? I might
Lany,
actually
you're
buy
supposed
that
to say
game
I
if it
care
does.
about that.
I'm quite happy
Wait.
to talk about that.
Is this only on PC? Because then I'm not
Yeah.
interested.
I would guess so, yeah.
How would you get a mod onto your?
Well,
PS4 one?
Fallout said they were
No,
going to do mods.
I think, okay, I'm going to
Fallout
assume that
has-
you both care about
Fallout-
this. We're going to talk about it.
Fallout has done mods on it, but it's built into the game.
Yeah.
But no, I imagine. I mean, there is ways. I've seen a mod for Bloodborne that required 2 PS4s.
Yeah. I mean, I do.
But-
I think the next gen
you know what I
we'll
mean.
look at
I'm pretty
mods
sure it's
more. But I guess
concealed.
what I wanted to know about this was what Lany answered emphatically, basically, immediately, was I loved Sekiro, and I don't know if you two did. I know Liam played it.
It wasn't as interesting for me.
Yeah, I think a
it's
lot
not
of
a bad
people
game.
were
It's
turned
not a
off
bad
by it.
game. That's not what I'm saying at all. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because it's not my favorite. I can see why it is good, but
Might
yeah,
be in my top 3 Souls-like games, you know, which is
fair.
weird because I know a lot and I get why it's not. But I just wonder if it had multiplayer. It's my question to you and Lany is, like I say, you've already answered this pretty much. If it had had some kind of same thing as Dark Souls, etc., would that have changed how your enjoyment of it? Would it made it a better game? Would you enjoy it more? Do you think they missed a trick with that?
If they had multiplayer, if they had summons, I would have bought it.
So that completely turned you off from the whole game.
I mean, it made me less likely to buy it because I am a full-on scrub when it comes to these type of games. So like,
It's fine. You gotta
So,
get it
like-
through him. You gotta get it through him. You know.
yeah, not being able to summon someone like on a particularly difficult boss is sort of make me think like I'm just gonna get up to a boss and then not be able to move on. So even though I think it looks like a really interesting game and I probably will get it at some point, the
The only-
idea of no multiplayer has stopped me from getting it so far.
The worst bits of that game, in all honesty, were exactly what you just said. There's some bosses that are just unbelievable, and you just can't. It's bits in Dark Souls where you just like you know that you've got that summon there that you absolutely smack your head against the wall, and it was horrible at bits. It just like there were points where I almost put it down, but it eventually sort of powered through it. But yeah, it was much more difficult because of it.
That is the issue I had with it as well when I played it. Because I mean, again, this is obviously completely subjective for me. So I couldn't really get fully to grips with the combat system as well as I needed to. And unlike other Souls games, including Bloodborne, there's really only one way to play it.
Yeah, 100%. That was,
and I think so. Having it like that, and then also not being able to sort of like, get help. If you need it.
Honestly, the first I don't know,
it's a very steep.
The first 10 hours of that game were harder than like the rest of it, just because I was just playing it. I was just so like, my brain was just thinking in like a Dark Souls blood. It tried to think in it like a Bloodborne way. I was trying to dodge everything basically, and it doesn't want you to. You have to block everything. The whole game is based around blocking and stamina getting down, and then getting these one sort of shots that just kills them in one kind of thing. I was just dodging because it was just built out that kind of way.
Yeah, I mean it's a great system. I think like
once it clicks, it's unbelievably good. Once it clicks, it's the best combat system they've ever made by a mile. It's brilliant. It's so like responsive. Whereas like Bloodborne and Dark Souls, it's good combat system, but it isn't.
Yeah, it's a little more
particularly responsive, is it? Yeah, it's more like roll through this, and sometimes you just get lucky.
But it's like it's one of those. I prefer the Souls games where you have a bit more freedom in the way you can approach stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I know
different builds.
Yeah, I mean it's less so with Bloodborne in a way. Do you know what I mean? I know there is, but
No, I get you. Yeah.
But to have that option of being like, right, I can just tank it, or I can just be, you know what I mean?
It wasn't that the only.
It's a shame, really, because I was really digging the story, and I think
story's so good.
Great
the story
game,
and setting are unbelievable.
It's standard. The thing is with Sekiro is that I don't feel like fighting the standard enemies really prepares you for any sort of
it does not
or anything like that.
It does not.
It's such a huge like jump up. Even when you're fighting, they're not even bosses. They're just like, a general that's got two health bars.
There's loads of mini bosses and stuff, and those are some of the hardest ones that you fight.
Yeah,
some of the mini bosses,
and there's no real there's not a great curve of, what I mean, it's like quite a sharp learning curve.
In Dark Souls, it's sort of built with helping in mind. You got all these big big tanky bosses that all around and stuff. Whereas in every single fight in Sekiro is built like with one-on-one in mind, essentially.
Yeah,
and it is just it's
which is fine. It doesn't have to be like
it's
the Souls games, and that's fine. And obviously it obviously is a good game, but it's just not something I can really.
Yeah, it was a very simple way for them to do something different, wasn't it? Really, in keeping the same sort of stuff, and it's definitely got its place. But I totally get why people would.
And I think the lack of variety doesn't help in a way, because like with a Dark Souls game or a Bloodborne game, I've got a reason to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never gone back. I remember finishing Sekiro and just saying never again. Even though I loved it, I was like, I'm never going to play that again, just because
there is multiple endings, isn't there?
There is, yeah. And this is the thing. My original plan, like halfway through it, I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely go, because I know the bits where it like deviates. I was like, oh, I'll definitely go back and do these. But then the final like two bosses are just, oh my god, it's
having to do the same thing in the same way again.
Yeah.
That I think you struggle with, and then like. And I don't think it's important for a game like that to be able to like, change your armor and stuff like that. It's not necessarily important, but it certainly adds another level that keeps you entertained.
Oh yeah.
Whereas, you know what I mean? So
if we could just summon each other, if we could summon each other into Sekiro, I think we'd go and play it. To be honest with you, I'd certainly play it again.
It would be more enjoyable.
Yeah, not the point of the game,
but for me. No.
Good for them for modding that through. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okie doke. Headline number 2. Amazon's free-to-play shooter Crucible has 3 new gameplay mode trailers, and it releases May 20th in 5 days. Do we care?
Never heard of it.
No, I've heard of it, but it's not something I'd ever play, and I don't really care for.
I'd barely
Sorry.
heard of it. Yeah, and it's only really when I thought about it. Say it comes out in 5 days. So that's crazy, isn't it? So we don't care. We're moving on from that.
No, not my kind of game.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Say no more. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 is being remade and comes out in September. Do we care?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
care.
pretty happy for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I thought we'd almost be like, it's had its time.
Well, put it this way: the other day, I spent a good few hours trying to get a copy of Skate 3 to work on my laptop.
You are all for that.
And it didn't pan out.
Yeah,
But it's
fair enough.
more that what I really want is a game that isn't so in depth and taxing. You know what I mean? It's something you can just pick up, play, and enjoy. The nostalgia thing's obviously a big thing about it as well. You know,
And the
bumping soundtrack. Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Desperate
but-
to hear Superman again.
Yeah, but being able to play online with each other and makes I think there's a lot of fun to be had in a game like that, especially because it's not like because Skate was a bit more not serious, but it was a bit more. It was less arcadey, if that makes sense. And then
Yeah.
Yeah, makes total
I
sense.
think Tony Hawk being a bit more, ridiculous, doing like a 20-foot ollie or whatever.
I actually got
And
Johnny for his birthday. I played like 5 years ago now. Definitely on PS4 though. A code from like game for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 HD.
Oh yeah, I
Just for
remember
like his
thing,
birthday
yeah.
present, and we ended up playing it for like.
Yeah.
It's just one of them games that you can just sink time into and just.
It's
have a laugh
very
within it.
easy to play
Yeah.
and get some enjoyment out of.
And I think it'll hold up.
It's
It's
not
just-
being made
it's-
by the people that did 5, is it? Is that a thing?
No.
Oh god, I have no
Oh,
idea,
thank God.
mate.
No,
I think
was
it'll
reading
hold
that
up.
they
Though.
are using they're using like the same code for the like controls for like
Yeah.
the handling, so it should
Right.
feel the same. But obviously, everything else is.
I think I
with,
think
with
they
tweaks, obviously, and stuff
Yeah,
like
I
that.
think they stay away from that. Player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with it. I didn't think I would care, but then when it was released, I was like, I'll definitely.
I
have
mean,
those two.
it's it's not like I've been watering at the mouth for
Yeah, the new Tony Hawk's
the
game for
chance
years.
to play Tony Hawk, but
Hello?
I will definitely
Hello?
be playing it.
Yeah,
You know,
got an advert there on the website. Yeah, fair enough. Has it got multiplayer? I haven't looked at that.
yeah, it does. Yeah,
Okay,
it has
cool.
both online and couch.
Excellent. I mean, no worries. Sorted. Okie dokie. PlayStation Studios is the new brand for first-party PS5 games. Do we care?
I'll only start caring when they tell me some games.
Well, is it them that showed the 20-minute Ghost of Tsushima gameplay?
Right, so yeah, the headline's a bit of a confusing one. Have you guys? So basically, you know how Xbox have got Xbox Game Studios, and it's like the umbrella for all their games developers.
Yeah,
Basically, PlayStation have made an umbrella for all their guys. They've released like a little animation. It's very like Marvel, very like orchestral music, and it's like all the different characters like Aloy and Ratchet for some reason. Who cares about him? And like Nathan Drake and that just coming through all this sort of stuff. It's very, very bizarre. But yeah, do we care? I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it?
I mean,
What difference is it going to make?
in a way, it matters because I know like console exclusives are always like say an Xbox exclusive or a PlayStation exclusive are always going to happen. But I prefer if it didn't, and I feel like having your own studios, especially because Xbox has bought a lot of studios.
Yep, loads.
That like
And they need to
you know what I
be fair,
mean?
don't they? Really.
I don't really want to miss out on games.
Everyone says that they don't like console exclusive, and I get why. I'm not completely
It's not
against
been an
console
issue so far
exclusives.
because I couldn't think of a Xbox
Yeah,
exclusive that I'd want to play.
Yeah.
Sea of Thieves is the only one that I play, and I play
Yeah.
it on PC.
Yeah, I mean, I probably would play that,
Yeah.
but you know what I mean. If I had Xbox and I couldn't play like
Mhm.
Bloodborne or
yeah,
You know,
Horizon
it's-
Zero
yeah.
Dawn, Spider-Man.
There is
God of War.
something that just like
you
it
know,
just
I think Xbox are clearly moving to
Yeah,
be able
you're
to do
right.
that themselves
Yeah.
rather than just
I'm being
because
silly.
what you know
There's something about
Oh.
like exclusive that just like I like the idea of being like, oh, it's a PlayStation exclusive. I've got a PlayStation. I can play Bloodborne. You can't. Which is just a child in me, I think, just being a dickhead.
I like it I mean, I like it to a degree because obviously, so far it's worked in my favor.
This generation is
Yeah,
certainly as we bought a
Sony
Well,
PS4.
it
first
doesn't-
party games tend to be quite high quality as well because they've got a lot of money and backing behind them.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you look at this little trailer thing,
They're
it
also made in
is
Japan, most of them. So
yeah, it's like dripping with like
that quality.
it's only about like 10 seconds, 15 seconds long, but it's like a little it's like made ridiculously well. It's got like basically loads of like famous like characters like in like the X, the X, triangle circle thing, and it
Yeah.
morphs into like the logo of this PlayStation Studios bit, and it's got like this mad orchestral music behind it. It's like the beginning of like a Marvel film. It's like that kind of thing. So yeah, I think the idea behind it is just to go, look, we're dead good. You know that you're going to get something dead good here. So I think that's going to be like the beginning of every single PlayStation Studios exclusive now from like PS5 onwards, I reckon. Just to sort of get the dicks out, basically.
Yeah, fair enough.
You know what I mean? Measure them against Xbox. If they're going to do it, we're going to do it. So yeah, not much to talk about that, but it's an interesting little development.
Yeah, I mean, until they start telling me some games, I'm not really bothered. Not that I'm really going to care because I can't imagine buying a PS5.
Really?
Not.
You think
I
it's going to
mean,
be mad
the rumored
expensive?
prices.
I don't think it's going to be anything like what people are saying it is. I just don't think
mean,
Sony are like. I think
I
they'd
hope
rather take a massive hit and sell as many as possible.
Well, they'll
People are
have to
happy.
because there's no way that.
Every,
know what I
I
mean?
feel like
It's a
every
lot of-
single time a new Sony console comes out, there's always mad rumors about price, and they always pop out and go, "Hey, yo, it's only this much, idiots!" And it's just like
Well,
a
to be
big
fair,
PR
the
thing.
PS3 was very expensive.
It
when
was,
launched.
but that's the only one I can think of, really.
Yeah,
PS2,
plus-
PS1, pretty cheap.
plus they've only had 4 though, so.
I feel like PS3, they sort of tried it out and it fucked up. I don't think they'll try it again. Certainly not with the PS5, I don't think. I could be very wrong, though. Most people
Depends.
seem to point to it.
Depends. I suppose. Well,
We'll
we'll
see.
see. We'll see
We will.
soon enough. I suppose.
We will. We've only got a few more headlines to go, so next
Okay.
one. The Epic Game Store was down yesterday following the GTA 5 crash. You read about this?
I've not. I didn't know that. No. I
So
didn't know that.
you told me that it was free on Epic Store, right?
It is, yeah.
Yeah, it crashed like within like 10 minutes or something like
Well,
that.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah. Do we care? It's just, it's not really something to
well,
talk about, is it? It's just funny.
I mean, I don't care because I'm currently downloading it as we speak.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I was about to say,
yeah.
the real story to this, to me, is that GTA 5 is just ridiculous. Like, that
I mean,
that game is just unbelievable. It came out 7 years ago.
yeah, I know it did. Yeah.
Absolutely
and it's
insane.
still for me like it's so good. It's so good in a way
yeah.
that like even if you don't go back and replay the story, or
Oh,
even if you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
even if you don't replay it, you don't play it online. There's still so much fun to be had.
Yeah. I feel like
Even doing
nobody
nothing
plays the
in it.
story. Yeah. Like nobody even
Just
plays the
driving
story now.
around.
They just fuck about in it. I remember, like, when it first came out, it would have been like when I first was with Bex. I remember Bex playing it on my PlayStation back at home. Like the first, she never really played anything like ever, and she was
Yeah.
just sat there for hours, just fucking about, and it was just like
It's amazing.
revelation. It is absolutely insane, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
No
it's
wonder
great.
they haven't bothered making.
I mean,
6.
it's Rockstar always nail it. Really, do you know what I mean? I think I can't think of open world games.
I'm not gonna get into this debate.
Okay, fair enough.
I only really like GTA 5 and Red Dead 1, but subjective.
Oh.
We'll talk about that another day.
Don't.
Talk about that another day. But yeah, the big story to that really is just that GTA 5 is just
Yep.
never ends. How it's mad that it's still like 20-30 quid to buy anyway.
Yeah, but it's still worth it.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's not
Are
really a
they
game out
still-
there that gives you much.
Are they still supporting the online? Are they still adding
Oh hell yeah,
updates and
yeah.
shit?
They
Yeah,
release
doing it-
one like a month or two
all
ago.
the time, all the time. Yeah, like constantly.
Got
It's
like a
unbelievable. I-
massive player count all the time.
Yeah, and the amount of stuff you can do in it now. I mean, there's whole like I mean, there's the story for the online is probably now longer than the
It's
actual.
mad thinking back. Obviously, the online didn't come out for like a year, did it?
No, it didn't.
That's
no.
insane
And even when
thinking
it
now.
did launch, I mean, there was there was a bit to it, the story to it, but not a lot. But now, having just jumped in, probably
Yeah.
like 2 months ago, maybe a little longer, I jumped in to have a little look. And
It'd be so weird if we could like
It's
compare
crazy.
the 2014 or whatever it was online GTA 5 to now. And
well, I
just
mean,
see-
I don't think you could have a secret underground base in the.
Probably not. No, I don't think
the
that
way
was on
Sony can
launch.
now. There's all sorts. It's crazy.
Free as well. Yeah, that's gonna be ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, there is an online. There's an element of you can spend real money, obviously, but I don't think that will necessarily hamper. If you don't spend money, it doesn't necessarily hamper your ability to enjoy online.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's sort of like a sandbox in a way. You can do what you want. You make your own fun.
Make your own. Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Isn't it? It is just like the ultimate sandbox, really, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah.
It's weird. Okie dokie. Developers react to the PS5 Unreal Engine 5 demo. Do we care about reading developers reacting to the Unreal Engine 5 demo?
I mean, I'm not too bothered about developers. I would hope that they're not getting the tits blown because.
Well, you'd be yeah. Oh no, they are getting the tits blown right off.
You'd hope not, because you'd hope that.
That's what I thought. You'd already know about this shit.
Yeah, I hope that's what because if they're getting surprised about that now, clearly the games that we're going to be getting for the next 2 odd years aren't going to be anything like that.
It's
So
weird reading the retweets of it, because it almost feels like they've been sort of told to do it, like to big it up almost. Like Cory Balrog just posted like the Keanu Reeves "whoa" gif. Well, he didn't actually even post the gif. He just wrote it down, like just like he'd never seen it before. This guy, Asher Einhorn, who's like a Naughty Dog designer, he put like this whole like thing about his mind being blown by it, and like as though he'd never seen it. And all this, and it's just like
maybe they hadn't.
Well, this is it. Unreal Engine's owned by thing, isn't it? It's owned by Epic, isn't it? So there's no reason for them to have seen it, really, because obviously they just license it out, don't they?
They're not necessarily going to be using that engine. They've got their own.
Yeah, exactly. Very bizarre.
But yeah, I mean, again, it's the same with the studio thing. Until I start seeing results that I can, you know what I mean? A tech demo is all well and good, but nothing to do with me. Do you know what I mean?
Yep, I'm with you. I remember like this, like I feel old now just because like to me it's like, oh, I think it was Nath that told me that the Unreal Engine 5 thing had come out, or I just said, have you seen the Unreal thing? And my first question was, is it the game or the engine?
Yeah, the game.
And the fact that I would like, and I'm pretty sure he was like, what game? What on about? Like, I don't think he'd ever even heard of the Unreal game.
Well, they haven't been making games for a long time.
So old. I remember when it was a game, not an engine.
Yeah.
Kids. Okie dokie, last one. And this one I just think's a bit funny. The first Fallout 76 season starts this summer with new and improved challenges. Do we care?
Not really. I mean,
I just thought it was funny that the first season starts almost 2 years after the game comes out.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird. Fallout 76 is a weird one.
It's very weird, isn't it?
It just works, guys. It just works.
Oh Christ!
No, I mean, I played it for a bit, and I didn't think
it was terrible.
I didn't think it was terrible at all. I think obviously now they've added NPCs in, and I think that's going to help. I liked the setting. I liked the fact that it was more, because I really got sick of like
it was more green and more less.
I got sick of how Fallout games looked.
Concrete everywhere and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was like, I just couldn't. So I enjoyed that aspect of it.
Yeah, I did as well.
But obviously, I didn't. There's a lot about the online thing that.
It's just not made for it, is it? I mean, I get that it runs and it just works, as Lany says, but it's a weird one. I mean, I didn't hate it. It's just funny that it's funny that the season starts. It's just
but I did enjoy when sometimes you'd see someone and they come up and say hello and then give you some stuff. Just walk off and you'd be like,
I almost get the feeling that Bethesda have just like, because there's been such a backlash to it over the last like year and a half, they just don't care about that anymore, and they're just using it as almost like a bit of an experiment now.
Yeah,
and they're just throwing whatever they wanted it, and if people kick off about it, who cares? It's already done and dusted.
Haven't they added like £100 membership service thing?
Yeah, that was back in November.
Absolutely ridiculous.
That was like they announced that Wastelanders were going to get delayed. That was only delayed to like January originally, and it's only just come out like a month ago. And they announced it was going to get delayed, and then 2 days later they announced it was $100 membership thing. This is why I just think they're just not thinking about PR. You know, most games
Yeah.
sort of tiptoe
It's
around
always
that.
too late now.
I feel like they just don't care anymore. They're just like, you know what, just use it as a mad experiment and see how people react to what the hell we say. And then in the future, if we do one, maybe we'll do it different and we'll learn from this. So yeah,
I mean, it could be one of those things. It could be like a No Man's Sky. I mean, you could play it now,
be.
and it could be great.
absolutely, you're not wrong.
No idea. But
Very much could
I
be.
mean, he did say that it's not how a game releases; it's what it becomes. But I don't think that's that shouldn't be the mentality of games nowadays. It should be you should be releasing at least a good game on release, not a broken mess.
yeah,
Mm.
no, absolutely. And I know like Bethesda get away with it a lot more
Yeah.
than most game companies because it almost seems like it's part of a Bethesda game for it to be all janky and like.
Yeah.
The charm of it.
Like the charm
You know
of
what I
it.
mean?
Christ.
Which again, I would disagree with, but you do give them. I mean, they are, the big, interesting worlds.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
100%.
So there's got to be a bit of leeway, but still, I mean, I think not to hark back to it, but the difference between like a Rockstar open world and a Bethesda one's quite
Oh yeah.
different. Quite
Yeah.
different.
Did
Yes, I
anyone
still
play
prefer the
Outer
Bethesda one.
Worlds?
Yeah, I loved it.
No.
Because I've not played that, but I keep meaning to. And obviously, there's a big comparison between them.
Got a video on it, Lany? Watch that. Literally about the comparison. It's
Link
made by the
down.
New Vegas guys, Obsidian.
Yeah.
Or what was Obsidian? Or maybe Obsidian. But it's similar. It's exactly the same tone of like ridiculous corporations and stuff, and they've sort of almost like ruled this like solar system kind of, with ridiculous. It's very very similar kind of like 50s memorabilia kind of like corporation kind of thing. It's not totally open world though. It's like you jump on your ship and you go to different sort of parts, which has its own little open world.
That's fun.
Yeah, so you like go to like a planet and it has like its own little sort of area, but it's nowhere near the sort of size and scale of a Fallout. But it's miles more stable than a Fallout game.
Yeah.
But for that reason.
Yeah, for that trade-off.
It still feels like it, but nothing like anywhere near the amount of bugs and crap. It's weird how well they did it, considering how badly the Bethesda still do it. Because part of it to me is like, can they even make a Fallout game so big and so massive and not have it a little bit of a mess? But this sort of proves that you can in a sort of way. I assume by just making it these small little bite-sized worlds rather than one massive, huge, horrible thing. But yeah, it was good. If you like Fallout New Vegas or something like that, give it a crack.
To be fair, I didn't actually like New Vegas as much as I liked 3, but
How
I
dare
do
you.
intend to check out Outer Worlds.
I agree with Lany on that one. I couldn't get into New Vegas.
A lot
as
of people
much.
say that. I love New Vegas. I don't know what it is.
I think with New Vegas, it's just it's not the same, is it? And that's
No,
that's a bad thing. Do you know what I mean?
It's
But,
mostly about like dialogue and
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
happening into it
And
rather than
I
3D.
do have time for that, but I think I couldn't get into it at the time, and then since I've just found it difficult.
Controversially, if any I had to choose, it'd probably be Fallout 4, to be honest. Because I know people don't like the dialogue and stuff like that, but I just think I just struggle.
Yeah,
just better to play in it.
Yeah, it is essentially. Yeah.
Slightly. Still miles behind what it should be, but still.
Yeah, but
Yep. Rightio, should we play a game?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Okay. This game is called Lockdown Battle Royale. Okay. So, what you're going to see on the Twitch in a minute is a load of game franchises. So not a specific game, just a franchise. So, for example, Mario. And those franchises, at the end of it, we're going to take it in turns, and you have to kill off a franchise.
Okay.
And in the end, we'll have one franchise standing. That is the franchise that you have got to play, or the only franchise that you can play throughout the entirety of Lockdown. Okay? One extra rule.
Well, you can actually enforce that rule, but
yeah, I mean, you can do if you want. Do it for charity. So you have one extra little bit to it. Each of us has a shield. So if Liam said Mario, for example, again, and I desperately wanted to shield Mario, I could say shield. Liam would lose his turn there, and Liam couldn't get rid of Mario again unless it's the last option that he has. Lany still could, though. Make sense?
Yep.
So you can save one of them.
You can save one of them, sort of. You can shield it from that there and then. So I could say shield to Mario if Liam says it, but you could immediately go Mario once it's your turn.
Yeah.
Just Liam can't, unless obviously it comes to the end and Liam has to say Mario. If it's between the last two, for example, I wouldn't force Mario.
Yeah,
Are
yeah.
we explaining our reasons why?
Yeah, you can do. Yeah, that's the general. Well, yeah, I mean, you're not just going to go Mario. Why, Lany? I'm not telling you. You don't have to go into in depth. If, for example, it's FIFA, which is in there, I completely understand why you'd want to not play FIFA for a lockdown. It's fine. But I might shield it. I might not. We'll see.
I do.
Okay, so
be.
let's hope this actually works. Let's give it a go. Hey, looks like it. So, have you seen that it's moved? Has it moved? Are we all good?
No, I can't see it.
Well,
Not yet.
give it a bit of time.
Something's happening.
Fantastic. Right, okay, so first game franchise is Animal Crossing. Okay? Don't worry, at the end of all this, there's a big list of monotonous things. Yeah. Next one is Batman. So all the Batman games. So whether that's Batman Arkham Knight or Batman on the SNES, whichever one you want to play, you can play them all.
Okay, all right.
Next one is Broken Sword. Got all the Broken Sword games you can play, whichever one you want. Civilization.
Nice.
I don't know if you've ever played many Civ games, but if I had to choose one game to play throughout the whole thing, it'd probably be 6-6. Call of Duty. We all know about Call of Duty. Moving on.
Call of what, sorry?
Call of who? Call of Duty, I think it's called.
Okay.
Yeah. Dark Souls.
Nice.
All about him. That's just Dark Souls. That's not Bloodborne or Sekiro or
Okay.
anything like that. Just the Dark Souls games. Diablo. So 1, 2, and 3 and all the add-ons.
Nice.
Elder Scrolls. So talking about Bethesda.
Okay.
Followed by Fallout, obviously, because you gotta have them both.
Of course.
One's swords, one's guns.
Yeah.
FIFA, which, yeah, I just had to put it in there. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be the winner. Who knows? Final Fantasy. That's a hell of a lot of games that you could play.
That is.
Final Fantasy.
A lot of bang for your buck there.
God of War. So, 5 or 6 games there. Grand Theft Auto, speaking of the ultimate sandbox.
Ooh.
Yeah. Could be a strong contender.
Could be.
Halo, just because it's Halo, I guess. Don't ever be too happy about playing Halo forever. Mario. Now, Mario, you can't have games that have got Mario in. It has to have Mario on the box, is what I'm gonna say. So Paper Mario's fine, Mario Kart's fine, but I don't know, Super Smash Brothers isn't fine.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, makes
Well,
sense.
at the Olympics.
Yeah, that's got Mario on the box. That's fine. But Smash Brothers, for example, isn't, or anything that he just pops up in.
Yeah.
That hasn't got his name on it. Metal Gear, so that includes Metal Gear Solid and the old Metal Gears. Minecraft, pretty straightforward.
Ooh.
Pokemon, so all the Pokemon games. Again, it has to have Pokemon in the name. So Pokemon Stadium's fine, etc. But again, like Smash Brothers, nah.
Yeah.
Red Dead Redemption.
Nice.
Resident Evil, so including the remakes and the oldies.
Oh, nice.
Silent Hill. The Witcher. Zelda, that's a lot of games as well.
Yeah, that is a lot.
Total War, I don't know if any of you would care about that, but I've whacked it in there anyway.
Oh, nice, yeah. Good job.
And then I've got three bonus ones for lols. Earth Defense
Okay.
Force.
Oh.
You know, yeah, exactly. Could be a dark horse.
Yeah. Hey.
Tropico. You could spend a lot of time with Tropico in Lockdown.
I like a bit of Tropico.
Yeah, and Deadly Premonition because I want to see who kills Deadly
Okay.
Premonition.
Well, I think we all know that Deadly Premonition now is going to win because none of us want to go with that.
Oh, potentially. Who the hell knows?
Could be the one.
Who knows? Right, okay. I'm going to use a randomizer on my phone to see who goes first and who goes last. So give me 2 seconds.
Roger that.
Okay. Lany, you're first. I'm in the middle and Liam's last.
Right, so what to kill?
Do you have a little look over those, Lany? I'm going to set it up and see how this works in terms of me trying to turn them red, which I tried before and it worked okay, but bit of fiddling going on. So crack on.
Right. All right, I'm gonna take Halo.
Fair enough. Yeah. And
Just because I've never played a Halo
I think
game
that's fair.
you haven't
and
played any Halo game.
not played a single Halo game.
I played a single Halo game, boy.
Yeah, I played the
Ever?
first 3, I think.
We just realised that that's insane.
Never had an Xbox.
No, fair one.
Okay, let me find Halo and get rid of that.
Well, Yeah, I think probably a good shout. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to play Halo. Eventually, it was going to.
Yeah, I think so.
Fair enough.
There's not a lot. Not for me. Not for me, Halo.
Oh, hello. Got noises going on.
Ooh. Can't believe you never played a Halo game.
It's basically just Space COD, isn't it?
You know what? Not far off.
There's probably some people flipping the lids right now, absolutely losing their tiny minds about it.
Eventually.
I mean,
they got tiny minds.
I appreciate what it did for the first-person shooter genre, but it's not something I'm going to dig out and play.
Like it.
I appreciate it. Right, let's see if this works. This will go a lot quicker now that I've got it sorted, by the way.
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
Okay,
Hey! Cool. Alrighty. So who was it? Was it me next, was it?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna get rid of COD. Let's not fuck about to start off with.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Let's just get rid of the shooters that, again, Black Ops 4, I probably played nothing but that between like all of the winter before last. Blackout, brilliant, best battle royale ever, loads of fun, but I'm not playing it ever again.
Fair enough, yeah.
That's it. So, yeah, I think that's that.
I do want to check out the new one at some point, but just for the main campaign.
Yeah.
I've played Warzone a bit. It's all right. I feel like if I played it a lot, I could really get into it, but
I'm just not into the online aspect of it. So essentially, for me, like the campaigns are so hit and miss that like
that is the main bit.
Yeah, no,
you know
that's
what I
true.
mean?
Now, anyway, yeah.
Yeah, fair dues. Right, Liam, do you want to go for yours while I read up that?
Ooh, I think for me, I'm gonna sack off Batman.
It's an early one. Well, that's your favorite game, isn't it?
Well, I mean, it's not. I picked it because I really like Asylum, because of, again, what it did. Opened up a whole new genre of different game styles. The combat is used in so many games today.
Yeah,
but am I going and getting Arkham Asylum out again? Maybe not.
I mean, let's get the SNES game out.
That's the thing. The thing I'm thinking about is the fact that, if this is the only franchise of games you could play, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like you don't want like something you can't get a lot out of like for a second time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. There's a lot to do first time through, but it's like you said, you don't necessarily want to go back and revisit it.
Oh yeah, completely. I mean, yeah, surprised it's gone. I think it's telling that it's probably the only like sort of. I know it's not a movie, but a movie/comic franchise that's on here that's not an individual sort of video game. It's based on something else. That shows how good those games are, really, doesn't it? The fact that it's even.
Yeah, no, I suppose that's true. Yeah,
a bit insane, but yeah, fair enough. Okie dokie,
but not for me.
Fair one. So that'd be Annie next, right? Gone full circle. First three are gone.
Well, there's a lot of games here that I've not played any of, so expect one of them.
Does that necessarily mean you should get rid of it though?
True.
You could be having like a whole new experience.
Yeah.
You might have never played any Final Fantasy game, but that would be a pretty interesting thing to go through in lockdown, wouldn't it?
15 odd games to well, way more.
Gotta find something in there.
I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna do it. I'm picking Silent Hill.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Strictly because I can't handle horror. Like.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, they're not the easiest games.
To play. Yeah. Weirdly enough, anything that I could see myself like playing through all of them, it would be like.
Yeah, the problem with that as well though, is that there's probably more bad ones than there are good ones.
Yeah, potentially. I mean, the good ones could see you through the next couple of months.
Well, I think it depends. I think for me,
I get you.
Enjoy them, but
Even if
Yeah.
maybe the HD remakes had been all right, out a little bit, but
You're not going to be chilling
is.
out, is what I'm saying. You're not
yeah,
going to
yeah.
be finding a bit of
Fair
a bit
enough.
too much fun in them, are you?
No.
So to speak.
Right. God, I'm gonna. Animal Crossing.
Okay, fair enough.
Animal Crossing's going. It might be the current lockdown game of choice, but I've hit a wall with it. Just too much
Yeah.
grind.
There is a
Fucking Tom
grind.
Crook.
Just I'd say I think he gets a bad rap, me. He gives you an interest-free loan, pay it back whenever you want. You know what I mean? It doesn't. He sorts your house out immediately. He's all right. All right by me. He's like investing in his own. You wouldn't be anywhere near that level on the island if it weren't for him. What are you gonna like build your own upgrades?
Well, is it one of the missions he does? Like, he gives you a house and then asks you to build free. Like, would that not pay for the one house?
Okay, don't get me wrong. He's got to get something out of it, but you still get. You know what I mean? Anyway, I don't think he's as bad as everyone makes out. So yeah, that's that gone.
But you still got rid of it.
Yeah, just because I've played it quite a lot. I don't hate it. I played it loads in lockdown, but I've just hit a wall now where it's just I'll go on it and you just grind. It is the worst kind of grind in my eyes as well. Like, I get that it's cute and that, but nah. Anyways, is it now? Is it Liam? It's Liam, isn't it?
It is. Okay. Oof. I mean, I suppose I'll get rid of Mario.
Mario, the greatest
Mario's-
franchise of all time.
I mean,
That's a lot of games.
there's a lot of games, and some of them are quite different to others, but a lot of them are quite similar.
Mm.
And I feel like, you're not again replay value. I don't know, especially in a short space of time.
I thought Mario could have been up there. Thought he might have
Really?
won it. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that it's like a crowd pleaser, and I could happily play. I could happily play Sunshine and Odyssey just through again, basically.
Odyssey actually does look like a really good game, and it is a shame that I don't have a Switch, and it's not a game I'd buy a
It's
Switch
fantastic.
for, but
No,
it does
it
look
is
like
really
it's
good.
really good.
No, it is really good, but you know what I mean? I feel like I'm not gonna. I think I get bored,
Yeah.
and then like, what can you switch to?
I loved Odyssey. It's so
Mhm.
good. But yeah, I get you. But again, you got like Paper Mario and stuff. So you got like RPGs and stuff. And
true.
Mario Kart. I just think it's got the biggest, broadest sort of group of games. Anyway, we killed it. Now it's dead.
Yeah.
And shot
You,
square in the
if you were
temple.
that bothered, you could have saved it.
I could have. I know what I'm shielding if I need to. I don't think it'll do any good, like, 'cause I think you'll both kill it, but I assume you guys know what you're shielding.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't. No, I don't.
There you go. So you got to think about that. Okay, Lany, back round to you.
Maybe this is the one that you're going to shield, but I'm going to get rid of Pokemon.
Nope, that's not what I'm shielding.
No, that's fine.
Interesting
See,
one.
like,
That's fine.
I would have no business playing any of the recent ones. I just don't think.
The newest one I really enjoyed. So.
I actually enjoy the new ones more, but
Very accessible.
once you've played it,
Yeah, it's difficult to go back.
Not a bad lockdown game, but it's certainly not.
But there is,
I'm not.
yeah. I mean, especially with the amount of them. If you're into that kind of thing of getting them all,
I care a lot more about the brand of Pokemon Lany than I do about games per se.
Yeah, none of them are that
If
different
you were,
from the
yeah,
previous.
if you were going to kill the entire brand of Pokemon and wipe it from existence, this might be different. It's the nostalgia of Pokemon to me and the brand of it, not necessarily playing the games over. Right, okay. Ooh. Can't believe feet are still going.
Yeah, it almost feels like a waste to get rid of it.
It's gonna win.
Clearly not.
You're gonna paint yourself into a corner, and that'll be it. I'm gonna get. Oh, okay. Getting serious now. I'm gonna get rid of Red Dead.
Oh no! Stop.
You shielding it?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. That's
damn
your
it.
shield used. You sure?
No, you know what? All right, get rid.
Okay.
Get rid.
Lany, you're not shielding it.
No, I'm not shielding it.
Okay, why are you getting rid?
I don't like it. I don't know what else to
Really?
tell you. Yeah, I liked 1 to a point. I was never a big fan of GTA until GTA 5. Like, I never really liked that whole Rockstar like point little diddy bit kind of little radar and little dots and all that kind of stuff, and just the way that it moved and that. And then GTA 5 I liked, and Red Dead 2 just didn't like it. Just thought it was too much, just too slow.
Oh, but that's why
I
it's good,
know,
man.
I know people say that, but it
That's why
doesn't.
it's good, you know.
My
I
only
didn't
problem with Red
despise
Dead
it.
2 is that it punishes you for being an outlaw whilst making you an outlaw. Like
What-
you can't shoot anyone without getting loads of repercussions, which I guess is part of the game, but it just stopped me from doing all the stuff that I actually wanted to do.
Yeah, but so you wanted to be an outlaw.
I mean, I wanted to like sometimes there was like a girl being robbed like on a horseback, but if you shot the guy who was stealing her, then you get a bounty, and it's like, well, really, I'm the good guy here.
It depends. Yeah, like with most crimes, Lanny, you've got to wait till it's actually been committed. Before.
I did find I get what you're saying. I did find it more restrictive than that open world should be. Like
See,
I
for
didn't
me,
really know what I was, if I was supposed to be a goodie or a baddie, or if I
well, you
tried to be.
decide, mate.
Yeah, but I
You
don't
decide.
think you do. It's like Lanny says. I feel like you just get chased for bounties, or you just walk through town and either. I don't know. I just feel like there wasn't as much freedom as it thought there was. I thought it sacrificed the freedom of like a GTA 5 for nice looking mountains and horse
I
testicles.
disagree. I feel like the freedom was quite big, and I feel like especially there was so much to unpack in there that wasn't even. You know what I mean? On the
Hmm.
surface, yeah, maybe you wouldn't find it, but so, like it really took some of the stuff from GTA 5, like the
Yeah,
the encounters with strangers and stuff like that, and
The strangers missions were really cool.
yeah, and
I
some of the
played
stuff
quite a
you
lot of
could
it.
unpack and find in that game, and
You know what?
even
You know what it is. You know what? You know what finally made me pull the trigger. Cinematic mode. They can fuck off with cinematic mode.
yeah, fair one.
So I don't want to sit there for 10 minutes while me bloody guy rides around his horse so I can see it at a weird angle like a drone. Oh yeah.
True, that's true. I mean, I get it. It's not. It's a slow game.
I just feel like I'd watch a film. But yeah, I get why it's a good game. It wasn't for me, and I'm certainly I would despise it if I had to play it through lockdown. I couldn't deal with it for more than a couple of hours.
Fair enough.
Right, here we are. No, Liam again. Yeah.
Oh. Let's get rid of Total War. Gotta go. It's gotta go.
Oh, that was so almost my shield. I had to make a really tough choice. I know you're gonna get rid of my main boy, and that's that's like his. Oh man, no, say fine.
Because I'm a fan of strategy games, absolutely, but this is something that doesn't gel with me with Total War.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. I feel, I think, obviously I've not played them all, so there's probably loads I'm
yeah.
missing
I've
out on
played them
improvements and
all.
that.
Literally,
But
you look at my Steam like games. Like, there's one game that I've played
oh
by
yeah,
far the most. It isn't a Total War game, and then I think like the top, like 7 or 8 of my games are all Total War games, just non-stop. Yeah, but
for me
it's
it's
fine.
just
No, I get you.
this doesn't
I
take
knew it
much.
wouldn't go to the end, so it's fine. There's no point in shielding it.
What can you do?
I would have just been letting it trudge on for a few more minutes until it inevitably dies anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, Lany, go forth.
Was God of War on this list, or did I imagine that?
It was, is it not on there? Damn it, I knew there was one that I missed off. That's fine, Lany. Let's all know that God of War's there. I'll add that to the next bit.
Well, I'm getting rid of Minecraft then.
Fair enough.
Craft. Okay.
I mean, because I've never played it,
Yeah.
but every time I see something made in Minecraft, I'm always so impressed by it, and I always think I should play that because there's so much you can do with it. There's so much fun you can have with it.
Thing about Minecraft, I've tried to
like-
play it so many times, including on Switch with Bex. Like the amount of times I've bought it and tried to play it, but there's just something that just I don't know. I don't know if it's just that I'm not a creative person.
Yeah, I think you have to like.
Yeah.
That's the kind of the issue in it.
I see
because
all
it's
these
not like-
amazing things, and then I don't create those amazing things, and it bothers me a little
I
bit.
think
And I
it
just
takes a
think,
lot of effort
yeah,
to. I suppose you can just as easily experience those things on YouTube.
it's a bit like me constantly going back to a Kingdom Hearts game, and I'll hate it. Got Mickey in it. So yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, Minecraft, that's fine. I've added you God of War now, Lany. Don't worry. Should be coming up. There he is. Cool. Okay. It's me again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh. I am going to get rid of, and this is simply because I have never actually played one. I've seen people play them. Broken Sword.
Shield.
Okay.
Ooh.
All right. Okay. First Shield. Okay.
And I'll tell you for why.
Go for it.
So it's amazing.
It's a good
You
enough
should
reason.
play it and change your mind. So I like. I've got a big stiffy on for point and click games.
Yeah.
Like I love them, and especially ones that are well crafted.
Yeah.
And I think this made a big leap for me
I get
in
that.
terms of like the quality and the writing
Mm.
and just the way it's controlled. So obviously, a lot of older ones have this system I really don't like, where it's like not only do you have to pick the item or the whatever, the door or whatever, bit of rope, but you have to choose what you want to do with it. So push it, pull it, pick it up, put it
Yeah.
down. You know what I mean? Whereas Broken Sword doesn't use that. So if there's an item and you go over it, your options are look at it or the thing you can do with
Yeah.
it. So either pick it up or use it. And it makes it a better experience.
Yeah.
And the writing is just the soundtrack, it's superb. And yeah, there is some variation in the game. So the first two are like normal
Yeah.
point and click, as is the fifth one. And then 3 and 4 deviate from that quite a bit.
I had a look at this before when I was making this list. I wanted to know like what was generally the fan sort of favorite, and I think 1 and 5 did quite well. I was surprised how much people liked 5.
5 is really good actually because
That's
he really
Serpent's
put
Curse.
effort into sort of making the game that
Mm-hmm.
people wanted without it being like a fan servicey game.
Yeah.
It's what people enjoyed about the first two, especially the first one.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the second one as well, but the first one certainly is a standout kind of like just as a bit of writing and story.
Go on,
The
Lany.
humor is insane.
I was just going to ask, is it the first one that has the infamous goat puzzle?
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Although, see, it's supposed to be an infamous goat puzzle, but I was, fairly young when I played that game, and I didn't remember that being
Didn't
particularly.
struggle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
fair
don't
enough.
know, but yeah, I mean, even in comparison to some, point and click games, that shouldn't really be infamous. So I've
Tell
played
you
some
what,
games
we've
with like such a stretch of what,
Yeah.
how is that should be what I'm doing? You know what I mean?
Tell you what, with Broken Sword, I've never played it. I've got this weird respect for it because Bex isn't like mad into games or anything like that. You know what I mean? She's a lot more than she was when I first got her and all that. But
Yeah,
if there's like she played, I think she got a 5 just because she, whenever I see Bex sort of play a game and get mad into it, I think it must have like a pretty decent appeal to
must
it,
have some
like a mass
merit
appeal to it. Yeah, she played 5 all the way through, and then she ended up getting the first one and I think the second one as well, and playing all them too. So like for example, Pokemon, she played Let's Go Pikachu in that, and she loved it, but she never bothered getting Sword and Shield.
No.
Whereas Broken Sword 5 made her get the other ones.
Well, it's because it can appeal to lots of people because the gameplay itself isn't demanding in any way, so to speak. So, you don't have to be quick. You don't have to be, Like, do you know what I mean? It's not
Yeah.
like if you're playing Call of Duty online.
You can take your
or
own.
something,
Take your own. It's just
you have
it's
to
like
have,
just puzzle solving, I guess, and
yeah, it's puzzle solving, but not in in
with the
framed
story.
in a very cinematic way, but also a way that's very engaging and
Yeah.
involved. And like, yeah, there's a lot to it. What I will say is though, never play the remasters. Sack it off.
Why? Are they different?
Yeah, so they've added bits, which isn't my issue. I don't mind bits being added,
Hmm.
but they've had to change voice actors, and they've had to like there's quite a change in the style. And it just doesn't
It doesn't
work.
compute.
It just doesn't work, yeah. But
Enough.
to be fair, if you do get it on Steam or whatever, it does come with the original version as well. So
Fair enough. Well, I can't take Broken Sword down now. I hope you've convinced Lany not to.
no, well, Lanny will, won't he? You know what
Guess
he's
we'll
like.
guess we'll find out now. I don't know. It's your go, isn't it?
I go, yeah.
Yeah. You say Broken Sword.
God of War.
Okay.
Got to be God of War.
Yeah, I mean the only one that I care about is the plot though.
Yeah, I never really played God of War until the new one, and I did enjoy it, but it was still for me,
Wait, has someone picked God of War?
Yeah.
yeah.
Why?
Oh, sorry, I'd literally just nipped to the loo.
bet.
Are you shielding? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I mean, God of War, the new one, is my favorite game of all time now.
Really?
Wow.
But I don't know if. See, it's between two for my shield. I don't know if just shielding it for that one game is worth it. No, if you're getting rid of it, but it is my favorite game of all time now.
Okay.
Why?
Well, it's good money.
Why is it your
Why?
favorite game of all time?
Why is it my? I really like mythology, and I love what God of War does with that. And
Okay.
the new one was just so amazing. Like, just the way it tells a story using the axe is amazing.
Yeah. No.
The way they've fleshed out the characters in it now, it's just such an amazing game.
Yeah. No. I will say that because I did get, I enjoyed it a lot, and I would never played a God of War game, so I think that says a lot
Mm-hmm.
for it that I would be invested in it without any sort of context for it. But again, I can't imagine like going and playing through it several times.
Yeah, that's exactly why I wouldn't shield it. Like, I've platinumed it and I've never gone back to it, even though.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd never played
'Cause-
any of the old God of Wars. I loved the new one. I thought everything that Lany
Yeah.
said made complete sense. I thought it was
Yeah, it was
fantastic.
great. And I could well enjoy the older ones, to be fair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I haven't played them, so actually maybe that's not something to play, I suppose. But
Hmm.
no, it's got me.
It's gone now. Lany didn't shield it.
Got me. It shouldn't have gone on
All right.
top.
Well, Lany gets a chance to fight back.
He does, yeah. Gets his
Right.
reward.
You know what, I'm going to say why I haven't picked this one so far, but now I am. And I'm picking FIFA. And the reason I think it's got so far on is because it is a good game for just dropping in with your friends with. And I
can't
think
believe
over a long period of time, there's a lot you can get out of that.
I can't believe you're even talking about FIFA in a positive way.
Compared
This is
to-
already way
compared to
above what I
what's
thought it'd be.
left, It's going to have to go for me.
That's fair enough. I've just definitely
Yeah.
it's not my shield. So
No, yeah. I mean, I can totally get it. I feel like you said, it is a fun game to jump in, play with your mates and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot to it. Again, it's one of those games that does require a bit of skill. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, it can do. I
Not that you
mean,
can't learn it,
it's
I'm saying you can't learn it, obviously.
it's
But like,
weird how much the fans hate FIFA, but
yeah,
that
yeah.
makes sense. Like the
That's-
fact that people will play
but that's-
FIFA non-stop and they'll talk about how
But
sounds
that's the thing
daft,
about
but
games like, and it's like Call of Duty.
yeah. Oh,
Do you know what I mean? It's those kind of annual multiplayer games that get that.
hang about. I've got a copy. There we go.
FIFA copy? Mate, I've got
No.
5 copies of a FIFA 16 here if you want to
No,
borrow.
it doesn't matter. It was a thing on Photoshop because I had to put in your bloody God of War just to get it shot anyway. My FIFA didn't
I was going
turn
to shield
red.
it, but
There we go. It's turned red now.
Are you saving it for something else?
Fair enough.
But what? the
Right,
question, what's the
yeah, he's gonna say I've still got my shield. Right, okay, what to kill? What? Broken sword. Do-do-do-do-do. I'm gonna get rid of The Witcher.
Shield.
Oh, no.
Really? You guys discuss. Will I go for a piss?
Go on then, Lany, because I have only played the third one, and
Yeah.
I struggled to get into it, so I didn't get very far. I can't really remember now what my issue was with it, but I don't know. There was just something that I clearly wasn't getting.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to explain to me.
Well, I've only played Witcher 3 as well.
Oh, yeah.
But I think they added so much choice to what you can do with it that
Yeah.
you can replay that game so many times and see different things that you
Okay.
haven't.
Yeah.
And I mean, I remember I started the game and I started collecting all these flowers around me just because you could pick them up and it's you're so used to oh, this is something you can pick up, I'll probably need it in the future. And then I realized my inventory was full and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I'm looking through it and there's fucking hundreds of these different flowers, each with their own different use and can be used for different recipes. And my mind was just blown that I could just have all this and this was all completely different. And then there's all the different ways you can do quests. Do you kill the guy? Do you sneak in? Do you buy the information? Do you use magic to get it?
Yeah.
And the story is really good.
You're just talking
Fair
about The
enough.
Witcher 3 here.
Yeah, this is just Witcher 3. I've not played one or
This
two.
is the reason why I tried to kill it.
Well, I still
Just
think
one
that Witcher
game.
3 is such a big experience, and you add on possibly 1 and 2 as well. There's just a lot that you can unpack there.
1 I played a long time ago, and it's nothing like it. It's absolutely nothing like it. Witcher 2, I think, is a lot more similar to Witcher 3. But it's just one game, Lenny. One game. Your shield.
Shield.
All right, I'm sure you've talked about it enough. You've done what you've done now. I'll be honest with you, the only reason I killed it is I wanted to know if that was your shield. I was playing it tactically. Now I hold the only shield. Okay. Well, that's being killed off. So that was Lany. It's me now, isn't it? Is that right? No, hang about. I've just done one and Lany's shielded, right? Cool. So that would make it Lany's turn? No, Liam's turn.
Yeah.
I literally went through everyone except for the person.
Okay. Let's get rid of civilization.
Shield.
Yeah, well, who'd have thought? Eh? Who'd have thought?
Damn it! I've only just put the thing up. I know it's not going to win, but I don't see any kind of tactical way that I can shield anything that is going to win. To be honest with you. Oh no, maybe there is. Oh, maybe I've made a mistake.
I mean, if you shield
no.
something, if you have to use your shield, that person's just going to pick it next round anyway. So.
No. You can't.
Yeah.
You have it shielded. You can't. So Liam can't do save. You could pick it. Don't, Lany, please. Let's make it our main game. We can all play Civ 6 together online. It'd be amazing. That is my most played game of all time, and I think probably if I had to forcefully pick my favorite game of all time, Civ 6, and Civ 5 before it was incredible as well.
Why have you killed The Witcher when I shielded it?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Unbelievable.
No reason, Lany. Okay, it's gonna go anyway.
Who cares about?
I'll change it. Next time that somebody kills something, because no more shields now. But yeah, Civilization 6. I don't know what it is. Just that game just consistently amazes me, even though I've played it for literally hundreds of hours. Something about it that just keeps bringing me back. I think it's just the fact that it is educational as well.
Yeah.
It's fascinating beyond it being a video game. It's very, very easy to get into. It's almost like the best sort of board game ever, almost. It's complicated enough because obviously it's a video game more than a board game. It still works in that kind of board game way, and just seeing a wonder being built, and explaining the wonder to you, or this natural sort of wonder, this famous leader, and all these sort of like buffs that they have and why they have those kind of buffs. I don't know what it just. Every time I will start a new game of Civ and I'll just play through it, and most of the time I'll never finish it. It takes absolutely forever, but I'll just have fun every single time. So yeah, shielded for at least another round, hopefully.
Fair enough.
So that would be Lany then.
Uh,
2 shields
Oh,
using
yeah.
that in that round. Go for it.
wait, so it is my turn.
Yeah, right. You,
Yeah.
me, Liam. Liam's just gone save our shielded here.
Cool. I'll pick Tropico then.
Yeah, fair.
Well, no one's shielding anymore, so it's not a problem.
I've only played one Tropico game, and I just find, I mean, same with Civilization. Probably it's very difficult for me to manage all the different aspects of it,
Yeah.
and I'm just shit
Yeah.
at it, so I don't get as much fun as it from someone who probably does.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I can understand that.
I got Tropico 6 a couple months ago, and it's exactly the same game basically
Yeah.
as all the
Yeah.
others, but
They often are.
it's still a hell of a lot of fun. But once I'd done like one island all the way through all the different eras, you just started done with it. Sort of built everything. You've got to a point where your economy is just so ridiculously good that not really any challenge to it anyway anymore. But I still think it's an underrated game. I still think a lot of people have fun with that game if they actually give it. We played it, didn't we? Multiplayer like Tropico 5.
Yeah.
A free game, wasn't it?
Free game,
Years ago, yeah.
yeah.
But yeah, fair enough. It's certainly not going to last me through all lockdown. Okay, it'd be me then, wouldn't it? I'm going to get rid of. I've got 2 that have been shielded against me now. I can't pick The Witcher or Broken Sword.
Can.
I know.
Got to
By
shoot yourself.
forcing the shields, I've painted myself into a terrible corner. What if it comes down to just those 2 and it's me? Then I'll be allowed. I'll have to pick them. I'm going to get rid of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, like I love
Fallout's
Skyrim and that. Kind of, yeah. I mean, a lot of people would say it's a rich man's Fallout. I could totally understand that, but
I think for me, it's like the same game, but I prefer the world of Fallout.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
I get you. Even though I probably played, but I don't know if I could. I played Skyrim that much that I don't ever want to play it again. You know what I mean? Like, done with that. And
Yeah, that's
Oblivion, nah, I'm never going to play Oblivion. So it's just those 2. Elder Scrolls Online, pretty good, but I don't think I'm gonna bother with that. But yeah, fair one. There goes that. Okay, Liam.
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Diablo.
Oh yeah, I forgot
Yeah.
about that even being in there.
Yeah, Diablo's gone. I really like Diablo
I do.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
I think there's a great amount of enjoyment in them, but you know, even if you change, you know, your class and all that, you know, you're really getting the same experience most of the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I'll be honest,
Doesn't
I
mean-
almost picked it a few rounds ago and I can't remember what it was. Yeah.
I mean, I do enjoy it, and you know, there's a lot of fun to be had in Diablo, but it's especially the second one I really enjoy.
Hmm.
Had a great time with that.
Oh yeah.
But
Got like
yeah,
player blasting out behind.
but you know, there's only so much you can really do with them.
Correct. Okay. That would be Lany again.
Well, I'm gonna pick Deadly Premonition.
I mean,
We
Right.
can't be amazed.
Just
That was
really because, like, if I had to play this on my own, I don't think I could do it. I think I need people around me to enjoy this game.
Yeah, it's not a.
I can see
mean-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't. There is certainly, you know, it's funny, and it's certainly, you know, you can take the piss out of it, but you know, can you do that on your own? Not really. You just play. It's sort of just playing a bad game.
Yeah, I mean, Deadly
Yeah.
Premonition, Tropico, and EDF were like sort of almost like comedy additions to this, but I also kind of thought EDF might go quite far, and it has, to be fair.
There's a lot of fun to be
There
had in
is there
EDF.
is a hell of a lot of fun.
Well,
Right,
we were actually going to buy the new EDF instead of Payday 2, but it was like 40 quid.
the new one. There's another
Not
one.
the new one, the one before it. I don't know. I don't know what numbers there are, but
If it's Frayne, you talking about Frayne was going to buy it as well.
well, he was asking me how much it was on the store so that I would get it if it was like a tenner,
Must be
but it
EDF
was
5 that
like
he's
40
talking about.
quid.
Yeah, keep an eye out because if it's cheap, it's so worth getting.
Yeah,
I'll play that any day of the week.
it's awesome. I don't
Oh,
know why I don't play
so
more of that, to be fair.
it's well, there's an element of grind to it, but
Yeah.
every mission, even if you replay the same mission, it can be so
Yeah.
mad different, and it's like,
What's that?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
that mission?
it's just
Fields of
like,
whatever
wow.
it is.
Oh yeah, Fields of. Oh, what's it? Yeah, I don't know, but that is
Yeah.
a
Oh,
certain
unbelievable! Just like all the shit that's going on around it.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah, a fair one. Have I got rid of? What did you just get rid of then? Deadly Premonition, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, we're good.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Oh, we're getting tough now.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna have to get rid of Final Fantasy. I'll be honest with you. I was gonna do it before I did Thingy, the last one that I did, but I just felt like you'd be too angry at me.
Well, I'm not angry. I'm disappointed.
I mean, I know there's a lot of them, but they're all the same game.
See, they're not though. That's the thing. They're all so different.
I don't want us to fight. Let's
I
not.
didn't know you could be racist about games, but you've just done it.
I love Final Fantasy 9. I could have, I could happily just grab that and just play that again for lockdown.
Did you say that you don't want us to fight, but you're making us participate in a
Okay,
battle
all right,
royale?
fair enough. Yeah, I wanted to be respectful. I knew that would be the worst one. I knew that I would end up killing Final Fantasy because you two just wouldn't do it, and I knew that.
Oh, I can get it because if you're not into him, you're not into him. But there's so many that just for it would take you through lockdown and then another lockdown if there ever was one.
But let's go back to Mario. There's so many of them, and there's different types of them. But
Yeah,
we're
but
all like, oh, get rid of them.
I can smash out Mario 3 in like 30 minutes.
Yeah, but
can't smash out Final Fantasy
14.
That's one of the problems. I can't be dealing with spending that much time on it. I don't know. Just never. I've played Final Fantasy 7. Didn't particularly like it, but again, it was years later. Final Fantasy 9 when I was 11, and that I loved. So maybe it is like getting at the time kind of things. The nostalgia part I've had to it. Final Fantasy 13, which I think everyone doesn't like anyway, but I didn't think that was good. And Final Fantasy 15, I played for, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 hours, and it just didn't click me either. And I thought that would as well because of the new sort of combat system.
Fair enough.
So yeah, not my thing. What else I can say about it? Moving swiftly on before it gets any worse.
Oh,
Liam, yeah. Tough now.
Zelda.
Ooh.
Purely because there are games I'd rather be playing on this.
To be fair, yeah, I think I'd only play Breath of the Wild.
So I'd play Breath of the Wild. I'd play Wind Waker.
Oh yeah,
Wind Waker's probably the best one for me.
I do like Wind Waker, but I just don't.
Really
to me, Breath of the Wild is just like a better version of it almost. I know it isn't, but it.
I know what you mean. It is in a way, and but some of them I find quite difficult to go back to.
Yeah.
I do. I really, really enjoy the original one. I really enjoy that, but I wouldn't really play 2. Don't really like it.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask.
Honestly, there's only really Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword, but I didn't look. To be fair.
You sort of know what you're getting until we got to Wind Waker was bit of a leap for the series, and then also Breath of the Wild. You're pretty much getting the same thing. You know what you're getting, and I think just there's not. It's the same thing with like Mario in it. Do you know what I mean? People like that particular style, and that's why it's popular. But if it's the only game I'm gonna play,
Yep,
You know,
I
I
get
don't
you.
want to, you know what I mean?
I mean, I was saying that as though like, oh, I can't believe he killed him. But he's got pretty far. Got pretty far, Zelda. He's done all right.
We've showed enough respect.
He's done all right. Lany, Killer Baby.
I might have to pick Civ.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's gonna happen, innit? I need to just let that go. I've already explained why it's incredible. It's fine. There's no convincing you. You never played it.
It's just not my type of game, I guess.
You ever played it?
I think I've played one of them, and I don't know. I think I'd rather play Age of Empires.
I wonder. They're totally different
Total
games.
War.
They're different games. You talk about real-time strategy, but anyway.
Any strategy
I'm
game,
curious
I just don't really
as to
get
whether or not
into.
as to which one you would have played, but I'm guessing you don't know. Because there are some bad ones, to be fair, like Beyond Earth and that. And yeah, there's some spin-off ones that are a bit crap. Anyway, it's gonna go eventually. I'm just stalling. All right, just oh, it's horrible. Okay, move on. It's me, isn't it? Oh no, can't recover from this. Okay. I can't do Broken Sword of the Witcher, can I? Okay, I'm gonna, because I've been shielded against them both by you two.
You have, yeah, of course.
I'm going. I mean, they're all horrible decisions now, aren't they? So I'm going to say Grand Theft Auto. And there's nothing you can do about it.
I mean, it's the kind of, it's like, you know, it's really there's only one you'd want to play.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? There's not. I mean, there are some merits to going back to other ones in a certain respect, but for longevity, you'd only be playing 5.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So I can understand that. I mean, you get a lot out of it.
I do actually think it would be fun to like go back to the 2D ones, to be fair, but
yeah, to a degree. But you
for a few hours, yeah, exactly.
You won't be completing them, would you?
Nah, not at all. But I get how GTA 5 you can pop that for months and it'd be absolutely fine. But yeah, I never had an affinity to it until 5. I never liked 4 or 3 really, or I never played the PS2 ones. I never played San Andreas or Vice City.
No, I liked 4, but 5 really stepped it up.
Okay, Liam.
Ooh.
All right, getting tough now.
What's going to be The Witcher then?
Screw you, Lany.
It's going to be just because.
I mean, I knew Liam would pick it just for what he said before. It makes sense.
Like I said, I didn't really get into it. I mean, I have been thinking about going back and replaying it, especially because quite often it's on sale for so cheap.
Yeah. Did you not get into it? I think I was busy having a blast when you said. You don't have to go through the whole thing again. Just didn't like it. No?
Really? No, I don't know what it was.
I did. I liked.
More of a reflection on me than the game, but
Kill you with my Final Fantasy.
Yeah, well, yeah. There you go. It's a bit different because you're right, but I get what you mean.
You can't know. Witcher 3 is like seen as one of the best games. Oh, let's not get into this. We'll have another podcast about the last generation of consoles when the PS5 comes. Fight about it then, and what the best games are then. Rightio. Yeah. Lany, you've got a tough one. I mean, have you?
No, really.
Yeah, it's obvious in it, I guess.
Oh well, I might surprise you then. For a similar reason to Silent Hill, I'm going to get rid of Resident Evil.
Whoa, wasn't expecting that.
Did not expect that, no.
You haven't even played Earth Defense Force, have you?
I thought
no, but I'd like to play Earth Defense Force.
Fair point.
Fair enough.
Think about that,
yeah, I mean, I can understand with Resident Evil, if you're not into those kind of games, you're not going to enjoy any of them.
I'm actually surprised it's lasted as long. I think it's partly lasted long just because it thought it would get to the end, so there's no point in killing it.
See, I don't know, because for me, like, especially the ones that have been remade, so the remake of 1, I know is very old now.
I love that, though. I probably played that the most, to be honest.
It's incredible.
That remake, yeah.
And the remake of 2, I've not played the remake of 3 yet, but the remake of 2 was really good.
Yeah, not played the remake.
Really good. And I really enjoyed Resident Evil 7 as well.
Yeah, also great.
Yeah.
In
And
fact,
then obviously 4 and 5 were also great.
4 is probably my favorite, to be honest.
Yeah. 5 was really good, especially for the co-op.
Still remember
6 was
5,
6
like
was
just
kind
going
of
through like
really good.
Africa and stuff. It's so weird.
Yeah.
But I mean, my theme on PS4 has been for years is Resident Evil 1 remake theme.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Mad, isn't it? They're
Yeah.
great. They're great games, but
Yeah.
they are of a particular niche.
Yep.
And it's the same problem with Silent Hill. You can't just play a scary game like
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah.
I think part of it is
No.
that there's no variety really. And I know that the 7 one
No.
is its first person. I know you've got remakes
Yeah.
and stuff.
Obviously, there is a bit of variety, but
Yeah.
in terms of the style of like,
Just beat you down that or playing that many Resident Evil games.
Yeah, or you just become numb to it, and then it's sort of
pointless.
you know.
Okay, Lonnie, that'd be me then, yeah.
Oh shit.
This is tough, man. I'm gonna have to get rid of it. Defense Force, it's the only easy option.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yes, going.
Yeah, because again,
Loads of fun, but
really, you just want to be playing one of them.
Yeah.
There's no real benefit to playing like.
Never gonna pop Iron Rain again.
Oh well, let's not talk about Iron Rain because that was rubbish.
Not talk about it, Lonnie. All right. It was, and we played it a lot just because in our brains we were like, it can't be this bad. Must be better.
But like 4 and 5 are essentially the same game. They don't even look different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's just different weapons and stuff. But I mean, there's what? You get your value for money. Earth Defense Force 5 has what? Like
100 and odd missions?
100 missions without any DLC.
Yeah, and then you got all the different
weapons,
classes and weapons and all sorts. It's mad.
And vehicles and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, there's a lot to enjoy about that game.
Yeah, there really is. Iron Rain is it's almost like that old sort of graphics versus gameplay sort of thing. The graphics are miles better.
But it's just far worse.
It's just nowhere near as fun to play at all.
There's no the fun's not there. The fun in ED. I mean, it says a lot about a game when the frame rate gets so bad and things are just insane, and you just like there's like 500 giant spiders shooting webs everywhere,
and that's the
like,
bad graphics game.
And and you're still just like, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know what I mean?
It's almost like you almost want the frames to just drop just because it's just that point.
You know that something mad's happening. Like there's 20 giant mechs being dropped by helicopter.
You need to get it, Lonnie. Wait for that to go on sale if it ever does.
100 enemy humanoid frogs.
Getting that giant like mech thing, you only need to get in like 1 point, like Megazord thing. Unbelievable. Yeah.
Getting on the bike and just like exploding immediately because the bike's just ridiculous.
Rest in peace, EDF.
R.I.P.
Okay, you Liam, you got a damn tough choice. I'm trying to think ahead actually. You're gonna have. Oh no, I'm gonna get the final choice.
I'm gonna have to pick.
Waiting with bated breath.
It's sad. It's gonna have to be Fallout.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, we're going to do Broken Sword, and out of those 3, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel
yeah.
There's a lot of fun to be had in Fallout. Don't get me wrong. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't be unhappy if Fallout was like, if I was stuck playing Fallout 3 and 4 and that's not a bad thing. You know what I mean? There's a lot. Even Fallout 76, you know what I mean? There's loads to do. There's loads of fun to be had, but
Yeah, you're right.
They can become a bit tiring sometimes.
No, 100%. Yeah. Okay.
This is madness. This is a mad last 3.
It is, isn't it? To be fair, it really is. I mean,
laddie,
the thing is, right? I'm already looking ahead.
Broken Sword.
Oh, I know, right? Well, it's not going to, is it? Lanny's
like no choice whatsoever. Like your playthroughs will always be the same.
I didn't even think it said. It's going to come down to those 2, and it's going to be me who has to choose. Anyway, Lanny, kill off the obvious one.
Yeah, Broken Sword. I'd really like to play some of those games, but I know where I am with the others, and I'd rather replay them.
Dues to Broken Sword though, top 3.
Yeah.
I did not expect that at all.
Well, it's one of those things, especially if you haven't played it. what I mean? I think if you know about it as well, and you know that like, oh, it's supposed to be like, good. You know what I mean?
I want to play them now. You've convinced me. To be fair, that's kind of
Hey,
the real
so-
winner of this is Broken Sword.
Yeah, absolutely.
The true
But
winner.
like I said, if you do, please just play the original versions, not the.
Pretty sure I've still got. I think the one that I've got is the PS2. Is that the remake of the first one, the director's cut thing that you're talking about?
PS2. Oh no, that's probably like
It's
the
Shadows
third
of the Templars. Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, I didn't know you could get that on PS2.
Yeah, that's what Beck's got, and that's what I have that stashed away somewhere.
I wouldn't have
So-
thought that'd be. I think that would probably be the original.
All right, fair one. I'll crack that out.
Release, so don't know.
I'm just stalling. I don't want to make this choice.
I think maybe
Do
should
we?
discuss it.
Do we all think about this together?
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, I think so. Okay.
So, Lany, what would you pick to get rid of now? What would you?
To get rid of?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's hard,
So, I mean, is Dark Souls just Dark Souls 1,
Yeah.
2, and 3 then?
Yeah, no Bloodborne, no.
Okay.
So, for me, what makes it a difficult choice is the fact that Dark Souls has an element of multiplayer,
Mm-hmm.
right? So obviously that
Metal Gear
Can-
5 though. No, it's
that's
not
true.
not as good per se, but it's still.
There was also Metal Gear Online.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to play that quite a bit.
Right.
Oh fucking. Ah, dad.
And
Every time I
it's-
think I've got one nailed, my brain like tells me.
because obviously, like, it is hard because you've got two very different kinds of games,
Yeah, they have as well.
and you've got like, the reasons you enjoy them are so different. know what I
I
mean?
was pretty sure that I knew which one that I would kill, but now
It's hard, isn't it?
now that I'm actually thinking about the game that I want to kill a lot more in all the different stuff I could do in
Because,
it. Good Alice.
there's just
You have to
it is
pick one.
hard because there's a lot more Metal Gear games.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And especially with 5, you've got a lot.
About to say 5 didn't have, because obviously I get that Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 are very similar games, but Dark Souls 3 to me is quite a lot different from Dark Souls 1 and 2. I have a very different experience with
absolutely. I
each
think,
one.
'cause
Whereas
Dark
Metal,
Souls 3 is a lot
yeah,
more accessible. And
yeah. Whereas
easier.
Metal
Not
Gear,
easier,
my argument would have been they're all very similar, but they're not. Metal Gear 5 is very different. Metal Gear 5 is almost
5
like a totally different.
Peace Walker's very different.
Yeah, it
as
is,
well.
yeah. Just like the base
Yeah.
building and stuff in it.
Yeah, and then also the way you approach things. So it's like
Mm,
because 1, 2, 3 is more about the narrative in a way,
it really
and
is.
enjoying and set pieces and stuff like that.
And if you
But
want, you
with
can always pop Metal Gear Survive. Lany,
To be fair, that's a
you've
game
not.
I've not played, so
I've not exactly, yeah. Lany,
Fresh
you've not said much. What's what you thinking?
What's going through your
I'd choose to kill Dark Souls.
Would you?
Would you?
Why?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just because Metal Gear Solid 4 was my favorite game of all time.
There is 4 as well, yeah.
So
Got
God of
4.
War came along.
No,
Just
actually,
anything that
Witcher
rhymes
3
with
beat
4?
that, and then God of War beat
Oh
that.
yeah, fair enough.
But
I always forget about 4 because it's just so hard to be able to access it to play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The rest of them have come out there's 2 and 3. Your HD collection and whatever.
Yeah.
And that, but literally you can only get the
Yes,
4
right.
on
Yeah.
PS3, can't you? But I
Oh.
suppose that's not an issue because in theory we've got access to it.
I
Yeah.
loved Metal Gear 4 as well. I always forget how much I love that.
I really like Metal Gear 4. But 5 is my favorite
Yeah.
because it's got the best balance of story and gameplay. The gameplay is so good. Like I genuinely feel like you can do missions in so many different ways,
Yeah.
and it's it being so open as well. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, I've got to sneak into this outpost and find this guy, and it's not just a case of sneaking around the corridor till you get there, and then do you know what I mean? You can sneak in or come in a day at night and send
Yeah.
a chopper or
Yeah, it's just mad, isn't it?
go send you've got your dog or you've got the quiet doing sniping and
Yeah.
you've got what I mean? It's just
Oh.
there's so much.
Here's the
And all the
thing.
enemies react to your play style as well, so they might start
Yeah.
wearing helmets if you do
Yeah,
loads of
exactly. Yeah.
headshots.
Here's
Yeah,
the
and
thing that makes this difficult, though. For all those amazing things, my original gut feeling was kill Metal Gear, and I don't. And for a moment, it changed, but I don't.
for a moment it changed.
Maybe I'm just doing it to be devil's advocate and just force you to make the deciding vote. But
See, for me,
I think if I when I walk out of here and I could pick any Dark Souls or Metal Gear game right now, I'd easily pick. I just go, yeah, I'm gonna go pop Dark Souls 3. I don't know what. I feel
yeah,
like I'd rather pop Dark Souls, any of the 3 Dark Souls games, than any Metal Gear game right now. I love the Metal Gear games. I would happily play them.
So for me, it's like you've got Metal Gear 5 and you've got Dark Souls 3, and they're both games that I've played a lot of, but there's still bits that I haven't. I've not got all the weapons in Dark Souls 3.
Yeah.
And I've not got all the weapons in Metal Gear 5. I've not done all the things in Metal Gear 5. You know
Yeah,
what I
I'm
mean?
gonna be an arsehole, Liam. I'm gonna kill Metal Gear. It's down to you.
I mean, I suppose I would have to kill Metal Gear.
Oh no.
Even though I picked it for the list and I didn't pick Dark Souls, I have to think that, like, Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3, there is a lot you can get out of playing them again.
Mm.
Whereas, like,
I almost feel awful.
obviously
Kojima's
5
spinning in his grave.
Yeah,
is
yeah. Rest in peace, Kojima.
rip. But,
Oh well,
it's just always good.
I thought Metal Gear might. To be fair, my brain, even before this whole thing started, I thought Metal Gear Dark Souls were thereabouts.
For me, like, I mean, to be honest, out of the entire list, it wouldn't be what I wouldn't pick either of them.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. What would you pick if you go back and pick one randomly?
For me, I'd have to pick probably Red Dead or Grand Theft Auto, without a doubt.
Oh, Rockstar all round.
Yeah, I mean, I just think there's so much you can do in those
Yeah.
worlds that, like,
Yeah, I guess so.
you can make your own fun in a very easy way, whereas, like, you can't in a lot of games. It's like the fun is the game. It's, if you look at, like, the Batman games, like Arkham Knight or whatever, do you know what I mean? You can't make your own rules to the game,
Yeah.
if you know what I mean. And, like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? You play in that game, and that's what you play.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
What would you
And
pick, Lany, if you could pick any of them?
Well, coming off Final Fantasy Remake, I'd probably replay Final Fantasy 7, so I'd go with the Final
I mean,
Fantasy.
you do get a hell of a lot of game for Final Fantasy, don't you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
even playing, honestly, you know what? It's weird. After playing the remake, and then I just went straight back to playing 7
Yeah.
again, and I know obviously there's there is a level of nostalgia to it that I'll have, but it's really good. It's
Yeah,
really
yeah,
good.
yeah.
It is really good. Like, and I think even with the remake, like, it, it's like playing a different game. You know
Yeah,
what I
this is
mean?
it, and
It's a
it
but it is
kind of
a
is a different game,
It
isn't it,
is
really?
like playing a different game. It's totally different, and
Yeah.
like, there's just a lot in 7 that
Got the
even with
online
its
games too. Is that still going? Is it Final
what?
Fantasy 14? Is that the online one? Is that still going?
Yeah, it's still going.
Yeah, you
There's a
could jump
guy.
in that.
The house behind mine.
Yeah.
There's a guy who's always playing it, like, all night. Plays it online. You can hear him talking about it when the windows are open, and that. So
Just
you can hear
bloody
him
loves it.
going on about it. Yeah, he does. He's been playing it since we bloody moved in. It's always
Mad.
getting updates and stuff. It's always got crossovers with stuff as well. And
Nice. That is. But
Monster
that's got a
Hunter.
dedicated fan base, that, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
just
it's
showing
like,
it.
I did try and play it, but
Yeah.
MMOs aren't really.
Yeah, it's.
It can be. You have to find one that suits you. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
You're not just gonna like them because they're so specific. That, like, you know what I mean? You have to be able to, I just couldn't get into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But
I
yeah,
don't.
Final Fantasy is probably a good shout.
Final Fantasy for Lany. What?
I know, obviously you'd pick
thing?
Civ.
See, I wouldn't.
Oh.
And there's a reason I'd pick Total War. And the only reason Civ 6 is my favorite game of all time, but the Civ games, there's no reason to go back to any of the others.
Yeah, you're just getting a better version.
Yeah, a lot of fans like Civ 5, but I honestly think a lot of them just like it because they just refuse to properly get into Civ 6, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I know that sounds a bit stupid for me to say, like insulting them or whatever,
so.
but yeah, it's Civ 6 is I could literally have Civ 6 and be happy, and that would be fine, just that one game. But Total War, I could play all of them, and I have to be fair. I've been playing all of them. Yeah, I could play Shogun 2, my favorite one. I could play Empire. I could play, Three Kingdoms. I played Warhammer, and they're the same game, but they're very, very different experiences. So that would keep me a lot more entertained, I think, than Civ 6.
I'll tell you what irked me about Total War, actually.
Go on.
Is I tried to play Napoleon.
Right, okay, yeah.
And I don't know why it's so baffling, but you can't set it to high graphics settings.
Yeah, it's weird.
Why?
Because they're bad.
That does no sense to me.
Yeah, so it's similar to like Attila. Attila is one of my favorites, but it's quite badly received. Like, so I love it, like Total War Attila, but it's very weird. The sort of relationship they have with the fans as well is very, very weird. They almost like take the piss out of the fans for bringing up stuff like that.
Right. Okay.
So if you go on like the social media things and stuff like that, they will, if anyone has like any like concerns, they will just sort of be dickheads to them, like almost like sarcastically. Attila, they claimed, and similar to I think Napoleon, Empire was really badly optimized, and Napoleon used Empire's engine, and Empire's almost was too ambitious and too big for its sort of thing, and Napoleon, yeah, it was just badly done. Graphics wise, Attila's the best sort of modern day example of it. So on Attila, you could put like 4K graphics, etc. But it was, you can't up the UI, so it's all tiny.
Right.
So you literally can't even like read the menus or anything on it, and they just refuse to like bother to change it. And it's not necessarily because they're going, no, it's just because they just don't talk about it. They like upgrade, then they'll just like drop it, and that'll be it, kind of thing. And if anyone says anything, they'll just sort of go, oh, there's worse things in the world and all this kind of shit. Do you know what I mean? It's just it's daft. And Napoleon was a similar kind of thing, and they're never going to upgrade any of the old ones. They started doing the Saga ones now, which is what Napoleon would sort of come under, like the little versions. Like the Troy's the next one, and they did like the Throne of Britannia and stuff. But Attila, when it first came out, they said they hadn't optimized it because they were waiting for newer graphics cards to come out so they could optimize it to newer graphics cards. It never happened. It was just an excuse when people talk. It looks, it like clicks. There's loads of clipping in it all the time. Like literally, you can just move across the map and it'll just clip, and it still does today because they never bothered to do anything with it. It's really weird. It's a really weird sort of dev thing with it. But yeah, still go back to them.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me,
Napoleon's my least favorite as well, by the way.
Is it? Well,
Yeah.
I can understand that. I mean, it's the Napoleon would have been the, not necessarily because of the Napoleon aspect of it. I'm not really bothered about that, but in terms of the type of units and stuff you would have,
Yeah.
it would be the kind of thing I would be most interested in.
Yeah, they've always struggled with like musket sort of stuff.
Yeah,
the best musket
which
one
is-
by a long way is Fall of the Samurai Shogun 2 expansion. You can get Shogun 2 for free now. On it might not still be going, but it was free on Steam for the last week, and you can keep it. With the idea that they just give out free games, I guess, like loads of people are doing now. And I think Fall of Samurai is only a few quid. Fall of Samurai is the best. Shogun 2 is the best Total War game, and Fall of Samurai is the best DLC they have. And that's basically, that is like when the Americans came and gunpowder was introduced and stuff like that. And that's the best they've ever done with gunpowder. Naval battles are really good. You can bombard stuff with your fleets and all that kind of stuff. So if you're going to play any game to get you into it, because that will run easily on older laptops and stuff anyway, and obviously you've got a game.
Oh, I've no issue with that.
It still looks awesome just because the art style is great. And yeah, that's the only one that if you want to try and get into one, give that a go. Of course, that's got your gunpowder shit in it and cannons. Which I know you like.
I've got Ultimate General Civil War for that. Thank God.
Still not played that.
Should give it a go, mate.
I will. Need to get it on your
might...
Steam. Well, that was interesting.
It was. Can't believe it. Dark Souls, the winner. I mean, it's not surprising.
Yeah, it's not that surprising. It's us.
it's a game we all really like.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
So
for all three of us, that's definitely one of the ones that we'd pick.
yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, it also makes sense why Metal Gear would be there.
Yeah. Such
We all
game
like Metal
snobs.
Gear. And the rest of them are a bit more personal
Yeah.
preference. So yeah, I mean, I think
We
Dark
only
Souls,
like Dark Souls.
fucking Dark Souls.
Get off with all your other stuff. Get good. On that note, I think we'll end it. I don't know how long it's been going on for, but I think it's been over 2 hours.
Whoa.
Hey, wowzers. A lot of fun talking to you.
Yep.
We'll do another one, probably if this continues to drag on. We'll do something where we don't ideally kill all the games that we love. So yeah, it's been a pleasure. Gents, I'll see you soon.
Okay. You will.
Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Bye bye.